Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday. Wait. Crap, what day is today? Thursday. Today's Thursday. Welcome to apparently a Wednesday on a Thursday. Something like that. Welcome to Thursday. And your next installment of Potentially Crazy Weather. Let's just see. We get anybody else on here this morning? So, what are we going to talk about today? I don't know. I do want to talk a little bit about a recent video that's been bopping around on the interwebs from a defensive use of a firearm standpoint. And maybe talk about, we're going to talk about the video a little bit. Hopefully, I don't know if I should say hopefully. Hopefully a lot of you saw it, so you have the context of what we're talking about. But if not, you go look for it and find it, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I am going to go through inventory this morning. We'll go through it, maybe quick, maybe not. We'll see. If you have questions, let me know. And then we'll talk about this defensive property use of force, which is interesting because Liz and I were going to talk about this on Monday, and then had a student show up early and decided to cut it off, and then this incident happened, I think, on Monday. So, or at least a video came out either Monday or Tuesday. But regardless, so we'll talk about defensive property and implications, even in justified uses of deadly force, just implications that you may have to face that you may not be thinking about right now as you're formulating your plans, but that are real life. So, all right, so let's go through inventory stuff since we don't do that all the time anymore, and I'm here all by my lonesome today. I have no Vinny, no Elizabeth. Liz is off on the West Coast somewhere. Vinny's, I don't know, sleeping. It's too late. He's not sleeping. He's driving around somewhere in his car. But it's just me. Sorry, you guys are stuck with me today. So, start with the shotguns. All sorts of stuff down here. Standard DP-12, Tavors, Kel-Tec, Stoeger, Mossberg 590s, 590A1s, Maverick 88, Benelli, Winchester, Beretta. Let's see, several Benellis up here. And then the 1301 that we have, the Beretta 1301 is the comp version, so 21-inch barrel, non-extended magazine, but super awesome shotgun. I'm going to start down here just because we don't always hit this side. Got a couple of AKs up here. Is a Zastava, a High Point carbine. Let's see, a couple of Ruger Americans, Ruger M77. I have an M77 in 30-06. Thing has taken lots of deer. Another Ruger American 450 Bushmaster up there, and we got some 22s, 1022s, 1522. Look at this guy. It's a 1022 with a side folding stock on it. It's pretty slick. 1022 takedowns, and we've got the Springfield Armory 22 rifle, bolt action rifle as well. As always, if there's anything that you have questions about or want to take a closer look at or anything, just let me know and we'll take a look. Dan, do we have anything new and crazy up here on the wall that I should talk about? I don't see anything necessarily new, but we got all sorts of ARs from all sorts of different manufacturers. Daniel, Springfield, Smith, Ruger, Motion 5.56, but I do have, like this Ruger's in 300 black. I've got some 308 ARs as well. Christensen, let's see, Springfield SOCOM. Still got the fix up here from Q, an 8.6 black. Very crazy rifle, very crazy round. Ruger Precision 6.5 Creedmoor. SIG Cross in 308. Ruger S-Bar in 308. MCX, MPX, M400s, all from SIG. Spear in 308 and in 223. Keltec RDB. Then we got some lever guns. Smith, Henry, Chiappa. Some big boys from Henry in 357, 44 mag. The lever action 410, and then their 9mm semi-auto from Henry also. It's pretty slick. Takes Glock mags, right? Okay. Yep, takes Glock mags. And we've got some CMMG goodies down here. Mark 47 Descents and Resolutes. Several Mark 47s. Descent in 300 black, 9mm. Let's see, 5.56 pistol. God, these things just make awesome little AR pistols and SBRs. So, if you are in the market for a new rifle, come check out what we got. We have all sorts of options for you. Then into the pistol case. Shadow Systems, MR, DR, XR, MR920L, CR920s. Let's see. And then we've got some Staccatos. We've got Staccato P, C2 Comp. Another C2. I have no idea what all that other scribble is on that tag. But several Staccatos. If this is something you want, you got to come grab them because they are moving quickly. Springfield. Let's see. We've got Hellcats. SA-35s, Prodigies, XDS, XDMs, and we got some Stoger 9mm pistols down here as well. Smith, I've got Bodyguards, SD9s, M&P9s, Equalizers, Competitors, CSX, Shields, Shield EZ. Oh my goodness. I know I feel like I beat up on the Easy a lot, but I have a story from this past, when was it? Was it Monday or Tuesday class? Gosh dang it. I hate it when people buy a gun and then they hate the gun. And that's the one it happens with the most. It just happens. Gordon, good morning. Maybe if we have the opportunity, we'll talk about that too. Let's see, SIG. All sorts of SIGs in here. Lots of legacy guns, 226 Legions and X5s, 320s, all sorts of different 320 variants to include the X10, 365 XLs and macros. I just recently got myself an XL, which if we have an opportunity this morning, I'll show you that. Let's see. Gonna start messing with some deeper concealment and trying to carry a little bit smaller gun. See, Beretta, 92 variants, PX4 Storms, Cheetahs, HK VP9s, several optic cut VP9s, that Rock Island Armory 5.0E, very crazy gun. Vin and I did a little video on it, I don't know, a week or two ago. Very cool, you should come in and check that out. CZ P10s, P07. Tactical Sport 2 and a P09. FNX 45s, several of those. 510s and 509s, 545s. Lots of FN in here. Reflex, 545 Tax. So lots of options from FN, even 5.7s in there. And then I've got some Canic variants, TP9, SFX Rivals, TP9 SFX, and so on. Brooke, good morning. Well, Liz is very late today. She ain't coming in. Let's see, Glock. I've got 19X, 45, 48s, 43X, Clock 25, which is big 380. Let's see, Glock 47s, 17L. That's cool. We don't see those too often. And then we've got Glock 20 in there as well, and a Glock 41. Walther, PDPs, PDPFs, PPQs, Q4. I think we've got a Q5 in here as well. PD 380s. And a PPK. Ruger, LCP. That's another one that the Max is somewhat okay, but the LCP, not so much. We had this in the same class this week that we had the 2 issues with the Shield EZs. Ruger Max 9s, 5.7s, Taurus G 3s and 4s. IWI Jerichos and Masadas. And then Ruger Mark 4s. Oh, we got all the 22s down here. It's interesting. Beretta 22, FN 502, Taurus TX 22. I have no idea what that guy is. Keltec P17, SIG P322, and several other options as well, to include the Walther 22 Magnum. So, lots and lots and lots of options for whatever you're looking for. Let's take a look at used guns, and then we'll go have a chat. Buckmark asking if we have one. I don't think so. No, sir. No Buckmarks. All right. In the use case, SIG 229, got a high standard 1911. Nice looking little wheel gun here, 686 and 357. Glock 21, Remington R51, SIG P365 380, Ruger SR22, Shadow DR920. So think Glock 17 if you're not familiar with the Shadow Systems lineup, and then a Glock 42, which is 380 also. Zach, what lever actions? Man, you tuned in just too late. Tammy, good morning. Happy Thursday to you too. But, Zach, just for you, I'll go back and show you the lever guns. All right. Here's what we've got for lever guns. I've got a Smith in 44 mag, and just under that is a 30-30 Henry. Then I've got this Chiappa in 357, Henry Big Boy in 357, and then above that, 44 mag. Then a 410. And I got 2 other Henrys, but they're not lever guns, they're semi-auto 9mm. That, sir, is what we've got for lever guns. All right, let me go over and let's get on the perch and have a conversation. So first up, I got to say good morning. I don't know if she's going to watch today or not, but to Miss Cynthia, I ran into her yesterday at Target, and it's always cool to run into somebody who says they watch this, not always live, but watch it sometimes live, sometimes after the fact, and it's just a cool interaction. It's a lot of fun. So, Zach, and you are most welcome. All right, let's talk probably somewhat briefly about use of force as it relates to defensive property. So, keep in mind, we're talking about the state of Missouri here. In the state of Missouri, you have a legal right to defend property with physical force. Okay? So if somebody's trying to steal a thing from you, you have the right to use physical force to defend yourself. That does not include deadly force. Deadly force in our law is authorized if you're defending property with physical force and it escalates to where you fear for your life and you have to use deadly force. It's not that simple. There's other complications in there. The bottom line is that your life is not worth whatever the thing is that you're protecting, in my opinion. If it's a thing, If it's a person, sorry, I've got an eyelash that's making me crazy. If it is a person, that's different. If it is your own life, that's different. There is no thing that is worth your life, okay? You might think that, hey, this person's trying to steal my thing, my super awesome box of 10 mil ammo. Somebody's trying to steal it. So I'm going to go up and say, no, you can't have it, that's mine. And they're going to snatch it away from me. And then I'm going to shove them in hopes that they drop the box of ammo so that I can pick up my box of ammo and walk away with it. And then they pull a knife or a gun and you die. Or you defend yourself because now you fear for your life and you are defending yourself now, and now you've shot somebody or stabbed somebody or whatever over a box of ammo. That's dumb. Jackie, good morning. From, whoa, Comanese, California. I hope that's how you're expecting to say it. Welcome. Beautiful state. Not so healthy with the gun laws there. But, welcome. So, if you haven't seen the video, this came out recently. Now, I'm Monday morning or Thursday morning quarterbacking this video. I was not there. I don't know what happened before the video started rolling. All I know is what I saw in the video, which was an individual stealing a work truck. And the worker who was getting his work truck stolen was trying to stop the guy from stealing his truck, draws his gun, and actually engages him, I don't remember off the top of my head, 2 or 3 shots at point blank range, misses. Truthfully, I believe he was drawing the gun without a real intent to use it, and the gun went off. He just, in the moment, the way he was trying to grab the door and grab the guy and all this stuff, the gun went off, but then he just kind of went with it and shot him. I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part. I also can't see in the car. So what I see is somebody trying to steal a thing, and then the person who's getting their thing stolen, the good guy in this case, or what we would label the good guy right now, draws a gun and engages the guy. It is certainly a possibility that the person who was stealing the car had a gun in their hand, and this guy felt fear for his life and was using his gun to defend his life and not the truck. Regardless, the truck's not worth it because that man paid for that engagement with his life. The bad guy backed the truck up. The good guy stayed put in the parking lot or the road or wherever this happened, and then the bad guy threw it in drive and ran over him. So that individual lost his life, gave his life for a thing, and not even a thing that he owned. It was a work truck. I would be fairly confident in the fact that that vehicle has insurance. Okay? Let the thing go. It is not worth your life. It simply is not. I very much do not like thieves. Right? I don't want somebody stealing my stuff. I have a new car. Like I don't want somebody stealing my car. I don't want somebody stealing my bicycle or my kids' toys or the flower pot off my front step. I don't want people stealing my stuff that I worked for, that I paid for, that I earned, whatever. But none of that stuff is worth my life. It just simply isn't. And this gentleman was madder than hell, I'm assuming, that somebody was trying to steal his stuff. And the way I understand it is this bad guy tried to carjack somebody. This worker intervened physically, and then the bad guy decided, well, the work truck's sitting right there with the door open, so I'm just going to drive over there. Most likely the car was already running anyway. And he jumped in the work truck, and the worker was like, oh, no, you don't. You're not going to steal my truck now. And drew his gun, engaged a couple times, missed. Again, I don't know that use of force was authorized anyway. It's a possibility that it was. I don't remember what state it was in either, but we'll just say it was Missouri and talking about Missouri law. If the bad guy who was stealing the car wasn't threatening the life of the good guy had no justification in using lethal force. Okay? That aside, even if the bad guy had a gun and he was justified in using force, he didn't do it well enough. Okay? And he lost the fight and his life over that thing. Just disengage, let the guy take the car, and go on. Okay? That, I know it sucks, but the gentleman's family is paying the price for it right now, and that sucks. So, bottom line, you can't protect stuff with force. You can protect life. You can protect stuff with physical force, not deadly force. You can protect life with deadly force. Is the person's life you're willing to protect worth giving yours up for? That's another question you have to ask yourself. If it's not, move on. If it is, engage right now. You gotta be decisive, close distance, get rounds off, and have the skill to back it up. This guy didn't, and unfortunately he lost his life. So, Mike, sad incident, good overview though. Thank you, sir. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know all the particulars, but the video has definitely made its way around, and you'll see, comments, anything from, why does a good guy have a gun? Well, because he can. Why is he shooting at that guy? He's an idiot. Or why can't he hit that guy? He's an idiot. People, all sorts of stuff. The bad guy's an idiot. He should have. The good guy should have just kept blasting. Whatever. You're going to hear all sorts of weird things. That's my very brief take off of the 30 seconds of video that we get to see of a big incident. This is something I caution people on all the time. When you watch a video of something, you are watching a very small segment of a huge chunk of time. Okay? That little segment may not tell you all the story. What you're seeing is real and is what actually happened. However, that may not be the full story. And we have a tendency to make things up. If you show one segment of video to people from a certain area of town, they'll see it differently than a different. And I'm not even talking about use of force. I'm talking about anything. From one area of town, they'll see it one way, or they'll see it another. If they grew up in this type of community, they'll see this video one way. Somebody else will see it another. So you get all these people making comments, and then it starts to formulate your opinion for you, and that's a slippery slope. So I think it's worth the watch to see, but keep in mind that we don't know the whole story, and that unfortunately this person lost their life. We saw this recently here in St. Louis, where a gentleman went out to stop somebody from stealing his car. This happened in Clayton. Went out to stop somebody from stealing his car, and he lost his life. He didn't want somebody stealing his stuff. He tried to intervene. He thought, I'm going to go out there and punch this dude in the face, and he's going to run away. And that didn't happen. The guy drew a gun and shot and killed him in the middle of Clayton. This is real life, right? What is your life worth? What is worth your life to protect? Okay, if you say that it's worth my life to protect my wife and my kids, then awesome. Be decisive about those acts. Okay? Play scenarios in your head. Think about things. Otherwise, when the moment happens, you're going to freeze. This is something else we saw recently from a church shooting in Texas, where people who were there that were supposed to be protectors failed, in my opinion, to do what they should have been doing. But that's a whole other story for a whole other time. On a more fun note, so I mentioned when I was going through the gun case that I recently purchased a P365 because I'm going to start to mess with deep concealment. I typically carry an MR9 Shadow Systems MR920L. So right now I am carrying my P365 inside the waistband with my shirt tucked in, and kind of cool. And the gun is not, my shirt is not over my gun. It is just, I don't even know if I can get the camera to angle that way, but it's just in my pants. And I can still have a pretty decent draw. Now, I'm brand new to this. Literally, I've been doing this since yesterday afternoon. I started messing with it. I got my Enigma. I got the holster last week. I'm sorry, I got the gun last week or 2 weeks ago. I got the holster yesterday. We got a new shipment of Phlster stuff. Oh, speaking of which, let's go over and take a look at that, because we got some more Phlster stuff in. So I carry my MR920L in my Enigma a lot. I think I did a video a week or two ago when I'm in sweatpants with my Enigma and my MR920L. But we got some more Expresses in, which is what I'm wearing right now for the P365XL. But we got Expresses in for Hellcats, 365 macros, PDPF, Glock 43, 19, 48. And we got some of the Pro and Skeleton holsters for different guns. And I believe we've got some more stuff on order that should be here somewhat soon. We also have sport belts. If you wear an Enigma, you should put a sport belt on. It makes a great difference in comfort. For me, anyway, I find it to be much more comfortable. All right, so anyway, let's go take a look at this. My draw is not very good yet, but I still feel somewhat confident in it, considering that I've only been practicing this for, well, since yesterday, since last night. So just so everybody can see in the internet, I have a magazine in because, man, the edges of this thing are sharp. When you're dry drawing and you don't have a magazine in it, it's noticeable. So I have on this gun, holy moly, I have scratched the crap out of it. But that's okay. I don't care. It's a gun. The only thing that's different on this is it has a Wilson Combat P365XL grip, but otherwise it's an unloaded P365 just with an empty mag, right? And with that gun completely covered, I can still get a good draw. And I love it. It's kind of cool. So it's definitely different, but that's pretty cool. Gordon, I don't think so. It is interesting. No, it's actually coming off, so I don't know what the heck it is. It might be my belt, maybe. Let's see. I don't know. That's interesting. But this wouldn't be caused by the holster because it doesn't sit that deep in the holster. Oh, I know what it is. It's the snap of my pants. Huh. That's fascinating. And I bet that will, if I scrub on this, I bet it'll come off. That's the snap of my pants that's rubbing on this as I'm either walking around or holstering and drawing and that sort of thing. So anyway, this is a new thing for me. I really wanted to highlight it this morning because it is so new to me. The process of drawing is a little bit different than what I'm used to doing, so I have to think about my draw now a little bit differently. If you go on YouTube and you look for, dang it, I looked it up before I came out here, Demonstrated Concepts. I think the guy's name is Rhett. I know he teaches a class on this, and I'm definitely interested in trying to go take a class from him. Seems like a very solid instructor. Maybe trying to get him to come out here, I don't know. But he does a class on deep concealment and how to draw, pros, cons, yada, yada, yada. Because just like everything, you got to give up something to get something. I really thought I was going to be giving up a bunch of comfort. I'm not. It really isn't that uncomfortable. Now, this gun is substantially smaller than my MR920L. You know, because I'm carrying an MR920L with a compensator on it, so it's a fair amount longer in the barrel. The grip, this grip isn't a ton shorter. It is a little bit shorter, but obviously the gun itself is smaller, skinnier. But anyway, I wanted to do this, even though I'm not good at it. Because if you just took a CCW class and you're putting a gun in your holster and you think you're good, you're not. You're not. You need to practice. This is something I'm going to dedicate a ton of time to learn how to do. I'm not going to carry my gun concealed this way right now. I'm not fast enough with it. I'm not consistent enough with it. I don't have the reps yet. I haven't even shot the gun live. I'm not comfortable to do that right now. I'm not going to go downstairs and run this gun hot right now until I feel much more confident in my abilities to draw the gun safely and reholster the gun safely. Okay? You should be practicing this kind of stuff at home too. If you got your concealed carry permit yesterday and you bought a new holster for your gun, you got excited, you went and bought a new gun, you got yourself a Glock 19 or a 48 or a 365, whatever, and you went and picked up a holster. Did you get a 4 o'clock holster? Did you get an appendix holster? How many times have you drawn that gun from the holster? Not enough. I don't even know how many that is, but it's not enough. You need to do it more. Okay. This is something I'm going to keep practicing on. It definitely has some. Thank you. I'm guessing Charles posted that. Charles just posted a link to Demonstrated Concepts Enigma Deep Carry tutorial. Again, the guy's name is Rhett. I've never taken a class from him. I would like to. I've heard lots of good things. So I'm definitely looking into it, either traveling to take a class from him somewhere. It was just at TACCon. That's something I need to go to one of these years, is TACCon. TACCon just happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But I know he was teaching there, but maybe I'll see if I can get him to come out here. I don't know. We'll see. Regardless, practice some more, practice some more. Now, this is something else I learned when I bought this 365. I got spun up in a rabbit hole of upgrades and parts, and because one of the cool things about this gun is it's modular, right? That the gun, the FCU, comes out of the frame, and you can put it in all sorts of other different frames, and you can get all sorts of cool stuff for this darn thing, man. You can get a bazillion different types of grips. Some of them start to take it out of the small concealed carry gun type of category. You start getting these metal grips with flared mag wells and all this. However, what's kind of cool about it is you could still have a big small gun though. So if you're a person with smaller hands, a smaller person, and you want a gun to be able to run well, you're not worried about concealment. You want competition shooting or duty could be a little complicated, even though these things will hold. I mean, I have 17 round magazines for it, so it holds more than my MR920L does, which is crazy. But holster selection for duty use could definitely be complicated. But I definitely see a benefit. It gets expensive, but you get a 4-inch barrel and a slide and an optic. I do have an optic coming. I had a little bit of a mix-up with my optics. I ordered one and they shipped it to the wrong person in the wrong state. It's supposed to be here tomorrow or Saturday, so hopefully Saturday I'll get this installed after class, and maybe I'll do a video on installation of one. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I've got my red dot coming. That's the only other thing I'm doing to it right now. There's lots of options. Lots of really cool stuff. But because I want this for the deep concealment, I don't know if I'll get too crazy with it and build anything up. It certainly happens to me, though, that I will buy parts and then I'll probably end up just buying another FCU and building a ridiculous P365 gun. We'll see where that goes. But so if any of you have 365s and have gone down this rabbit hole of upgrades, post up who you use, maybe stuff that you love. Hey, I bought a slide from this company and it was garbage, or it's freaking awesome. The optics mount's great and it's ported and it's, whatever. If there's something you love about it, say what you love. If there's something you hate, say what you hate. So the only thing mine has is the Wilson Combat Grip module. and got a dot coming. Other than that, it's very factory. I'm not that impressed with the trigger, but that's neither here nor there. I'll get used to it. It's just different. I've been rambling for a long time. However, I am going to talk about this again. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but that freaking Smith & Wesson Shield EZ. Gosh dang it. In class, I think it was Monday. Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't know. It was this week. We had 2 Shield EZs, 1 LCP 380. Both EZs were having freaking problems. First off, that dang grip safety. These ladies, this was a women's basic pistol class, these ladies were struggling so hard to squeeze that grip. And they were having to work so hard at squeezing the grip, they were having to grip the pistol the wrong way to make it happen. It is a terrible handgun. I'm sorry. It just is. Certainly that's just my opinion, right? And you take that for what it's worth. You paid an awful lot of zeros for this information. At the end of the day, those 2 ladies hated their gun. And I freaking hate that. Both of them bought it because it's easy and it's easy to rack. Both of them could very easily rack. Elizabeth was teaching the gun, could rack Elizabeth's gun. No need for the EZ. Young lady who was shooting the LCP, she was a very small person, very small hands, very small gun. It was brutal to her. She did end up shooting the P365 380, which is still a little gun, but much bigger than the LCP. And she enjoyed that substantially more. I'm not a big fan of 380. I don't love it. One of the advantages of it is that it does allow you to get smaller guns, but the LCP is just too little. This lady was tiny, but that LCP was brutal for her to shoot. The P365 380, she used one of our guns and shot and had a blast with it. So, unfortunately, that's stuff that we see. It's great when we can get people to understand that this is the right gun for me or is not the right gun for me. Definitely the is not part sucks a little bit more, especially if they buy the gun from you. These ladies, at least one of them I know for sure didn't, because I was working with her. She was having all sorts of problems with the gun, all sorts of them. And we were trying to figure it out. I really think it was a magazine issue she was having, but it just was not feeding, constantly not feeding. First I thought it was her grip. It was not her grip. Happened to Liz, happened to me. And then the other lady in the class was having a similar issue, using different ammo, because we kind of thought it might be the ammo. I don't know what the deal was, and she was just not happy, unfortunately. So, stop carrying. We can't, because it is a popular gun. Unfortunately, I would love to. If it was up to me, I wouldn't carry it. You get people who come in and let's just say they're super awesome Uncle Gordon said that, hey, you're a feeble woman who has no strength. There's no way you could rack the slide of a manly Glock 19, so you need to get this little lady EZ edition. First off, if somebody says that to you, you should just say, and turn around and walk away, because they are full of it. Anyway, you get people that come in here and say, hey, my son said this is the gun I need, or my brother, or my cousin, or my neighbor, or whatever, and that's what they want. That's just the gun that they want. There's lots of guns in here that are not my preference. That doesn't mean that other people don't love them. And just to be clear, I'm pretty sure Liz and I talked about this on a live a week or two ago, that we have a couple of students who have EZs that freaking love them. They work all the time for them. They don't have the issue. It fits their hand right. They can squeeze the safety, and it works for them. That is by far and away, in my experience, small number of people. I far more often, unfortunately, see people that get a gun, or don't like the gun after they shoot it. And that's not just limited, just to be clear as well, that's not just limited to the EZ. Okay, people often buy all sorts of guns because their neighbor said it's the best gun ever. Glock 19 being a perfect example. One of the most popular handguns on the planet. Doesn't mean that if you bought the gun that it's going to work for you. There are plenty of people that don't like Glock. Sometimes they don't like Glock just because it's Glock. Sometimes they don't like Glock because it doesn't fit their hand well, or the texture doesn't feel right to them. That's okay. It's a great gun, just not for you. Now, I personally don't think that the EZ is a great gun, but that's just my opinion. I do think that if the safeties disengage correctly, they typically work. We did see, we had 100% failure with 2 samples this week of feeding issues, but I'm not going to say they're a crappy made gun or anything. I just think they're very poorly designed, and they're marketed to people that have grip strength issues already. Hey, you're weak, so buy this gun so it's easier for your rack. But then you have to have strength to grip the safety. I can't get the thing to work. When I was shooting this customer's gun on Tuesday, I took a shot, and when I went to take my second shot, nothing. I had to readjust my grip on the gun and then take the next shot. It's not my opinion. Simply my opinion. If you have one and you like it, that's totally cool. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you have a high point, I don't love them, right? If you have a high point because that's what you can afford, and you come out here and shoot the crap out of it, there's a good chance you're going to outshoot most of the people who come here and shoot just every so often. Be good with the tool. Make sure that it works for you. Maintain it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, that's an issue. I will probably catch all sorts of crap for saying this, but I would probably bet, I would bet that if new person A picked up a high point and shot 50 rounds, and that same person picked up the EZ and shot 50 rounds, they would enjoy the high point more. Just a pure guess, but we might have to try to make that happen someday, just to see. A blind test with not a blind test. I don't want to blindfold somebody who's new to guns and tell them to pick it up and start shooting. But blind means somebody who doesn't know anything about handguns coming in and just say, hey, shoot 20 rounds out of this one, 20 rounds out of this one. Let them do some problem solving and see which one they enjoy more. That'd be tough. I would bet they would go to the high point. We'll see. Maybe this is something we'll have to make happen. All right. I've been rambling for a really long time. I apologize for those of you that have been sitting here for this whole time, wasting your morning away. Hopefully you're enjoying some good coffee, and hopefully you've got some better company sitting there with you. But if you need something, come see us, 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri. 10 to 8, Monday through Friday. Saturday, 9 to 6, Sunday, 10 to 6. Do something today to make yourself better. Whether it's with a gun, or it's with a bicycle, or with eating habits, or whatever it is. Do something today to make yourself better. If we can help, let us know. You guys stay safe, be nice to one another, and we'll catch you soon. Later.